Hey folks, welcome back to Road Hard Restorations. My name's Steve, and in this video we are working on a 1969 Camaro SS 396 4-speed car. And you probably saw in a previous video where we replaced the leaf springs on it. We have a pretty good sized list of things that we need to address on this car. We're going to go ahead and relocate the battery back to the engine compartment because it's been moved to the trunk. We're going to put a standard dual plane 4-barrel on there, and so we can put a stock hood back on there. It's got an old school torquer manifold on there right now, and I think the carburetor is going to sit a little too high for the stock hood. So we're putting a dual plane on there. We've got a new Hurst shifter, more of a factory setup to put in here. So we're basically taking it from like a street strip car back to just a full-on, just a street car. So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and split this job up into a bunch of little videos. That way there's not like one big one, just a bunch of little ones. So that is the plan. Going to do oil change out the fan and the fan shroud that are broken, and a few other little odds and ends. But anyway, let's get to it. First thing I want to do is pop the hood. Now this is a race weight fiberglass hood, and we have a stock steel hood to go on it. I already got a head start. Got an aftermarket battery tray. There's 2 bolts into the core support, and then 2 bolts come from underneath. I already got the battery box out, but had to move the car, so I hooked the battery back up. But basically, we have the red ground wire going to the chassis here, and then this long black positive wire going up to the starter motor. So we're going to go ahead and move these around a little bit. And this is just hung on here with a wing nut. So here's the positive cable going to the starter motor right down here. It's going all the way back through the hole here, but I need to disconnect it from here and then make up a wire to go from there to there. And then the ground wire, obviously from the negative post to the block, which I think the factory puts it right here on the side of the head. So looking online, most of the pictures and references that I found, the ground cable goes to the cylinder head right here in the corner. I found a bolt that'll fit that just fine. I found this extra black piece of cable that I had. I think this was left over from the Fairlane. So this will connect simply right here, and then I'll have the cable go up to here, so I'll probably just cut it right about there. I have these are actually for hoses, but they work here. You just kind of wear them out prematurely, cutting through the metal, but it works. And then you can cut back the insulation with it as well. There's a handy little tool, and you can cut hoses really well too. Okay, before you say anything about setting stuff on the fender, I'm repainting it, remember? So there's my ground cable. I got one of these high quality connectors. Believe it or not, I have never installed these on a car before. I've always just gotten the right cable. I think it was $10 for the pair of these things. Got one for the positive cable too. All right there. Yeah, I don't like that either. Well, so this will go to the block here. Okay, now before I tighten that up, I want to make sure my wire is routed the way I want it. So it's not up against the header, the suspension, or anything like that. So simply go like that. And just pretty much anywhere, really. Got a lot of room here, surprisingly. All right. We have a new ground. Okay, take that off for now. I have the red positive cable that was the ground cable in the trunk, but it is like just a couple inches too short, so can't use it, unfortunately. But I have this other cable here, which is longer. I think that'll work. I'll show you how to put an eyelet on this. Hopefully I have the right size in here somewhere. Oh, it looks like I might not. The 1.0. Well, shoot, I may not be able to get this done today. That'll work. I think that'll work just fine. All right, so I'm gonna put a too big a terminal on there. Let's get the right size hole in there. Before I put that together, let's go check the car, get that starter disconnected. We'll pull this out of the way. Tuck that back in there for right now. And looks like there used to be a ground here. All right, I have this little crimping tool here. And I have the oversized eyelet. Set that in there. Make sure that the cable's all the way inserted. Like I said, this eyelet's a little too big for this gauge of wire, but we'll make it work. Then you smack it with a hammer a few times. I have to do it a few times because this thing's too small. The wire's too small. There you go. There we go. You can see here the super crimped on there. It's quite a bit distorted because, like I said, it gauge of the wire is a little too small for this particular one, but it'll crush down. We can even fill in the cavity with some solder, which I may do that. Got this little box of heat shrink off of the Amazon, and it's got all sorts of sizes. I'm not going to use the torch, I'm just going to use this little guy. These are handy because you can bend it in different directions depending on the angle of what you're working. Heat shrink is probably a little too big for this gauge of wire, but it fits over the terminal just fine. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. There you go. Good enough. That'll work. Coming off the starter. So we can get this. Oh man, it's really tight. So if your terminals are too tight, got this tool here. You put it in there and he spreads the jaws open. That's all it does. Then you can put your battery terminal on there. It's a 12 millimeter. Why would you put a 12 millimeter on here? These are standard. That one's metric. Why? Why do people do that? Well, we have our cables all done. Spark check. Nope. Okay. Okay, I just want that one somewhat snug. All right, just did a little crankage. Didn't see no smoke, no sparks. We're good to go. Battery successfully relocated back into the engine compartment. Now I just need to pull all this old cable out. I believe Chevy originally had a cable running from the positive terminal to this junction block right here. Since they did the battery relocation to the trunk, they obviously put their own wire there to another battery source for power. A couple extra wires. It might be this one right here. Maybe this one here. I don't know. But I'm going to leave well enough alone because obviously everything was working before. All I did is relocate where the terminals plug in to the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this for now because why not? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea at some point to get the factory positive cable that has the proper lead to go to that junction. But that's another job for another day. We just wanted the battery up front and we're done with that. So I did crank it and turned over. No smoke, no sparks, nothing funky. Everything powered up just fine. Dome light, dash lights, all that good stuff. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do short videos for each job that I do on the car as opposed to one video doing a bunch of things. So let me know in the comments what you think, what you like. If you'd like a longer video doing a bunch of little jobs, or if you like a bunch of little videos doing little jobs for each step that we need to take on this car to get everything checked off the list. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.